and at the restart. Joe Irving once again grabs the advantage. A man who likes, well, a boy who likes it in the wet, likes racing in the wet, that is. But Andy Reid grabs the lead, and then the Ryan Saxelby bike throws him off as he exits Graham Hill Bend. And that leads a huge scrap at the front between WD-40's new champion Joe Francis and the Toad and Tatey Bub bike there, the orange and black one of Joe Irving. Then we start to have the mishaps further back down the field as standing water takes its toll. A nasty one there for Milo Ward, who'd had problems on the starting grid. But Joe Francis constantly proves quicker as he drops into Paddock Hill Bend and keeps retaking the lead at that point until that happens to him. But by this time, Bradley Ray is absolutely on the charge. Beg your pardon, that was Ed Rendell. Joe Francis still there at the front, but Bradley Ray is catching them as Joe Francis crashes out of the lead. Already crowned champion. And that leaves Joe Irving side by side with Fab Racing's Bradley Ray. Storming conclusion on the final lap in every sense as Bradley Ray tries to ride round the outside of the KTM, makes it stick and takes a pulsating victory from a disappointed Joe Irving. Great ride though by Bradley Ray. The final and deciding race here at Brands Hatch in filthy conditions, but beautiful sunshine in the National Superstock 1000 Championship, and Adam Jenkinson collides with Dan Johnson as they hurtle off the line into Paddock Hill Bend. Both of them survive the collision. Not so lucky further downfield where we get a nasty high side under faller. Thankfully, although looking a little bit put out about things, it was all really his own doing. Steve Mercer then goes down hard at his local track. At the front, we've got a battle involving the potential champion Hudson Kenner as Victor Koch, last year's third place man, crashes the LILR Kawasaki. Robbie Brown puts in a late surge and gets past Hudson Kenner, but Kenner knows that if he tiptoes around in the mid-pack with a 20-point advantage in the series, he's done enough. The pressure is on Jenkinson on the SMT Racing Kawasaki, number 11. Jenkinson has to win this race to stand any chance of the championship. And there's going into Stirling's Bend on the last lap. Tristan Palmer dips underneath him on the Rapido Racing Sport Ducati, neck and neck towards Clearways. And underneath the MCE Insurance Bridge, it's Jenkinson who surges around the outside of the Ducati. Another move by Palmer, but Jenkinson closes the door and runs the rip across the line. He wins and does all he can for the SMT Racing Kawasaki, but it's Hudson Kenner, number 3, who takes the championship by 4 points. Pole position for Callan Cooper, who's been winning races 2 out of the last 3, but he can't make that pole position count as they soar into Paddock Hill Bend. And it's a good start from Luke Hedger, the champion-elect, 8 points in the lead in this championship, but in very, very tricky conditions here for the Superstock 600 boys. As they drop down the hill, someone drops a little bit too far and a little bit too deep, down and out, but at least it was a comfortable landing, just a rather short race. And then a huge moment for Ben Godfrey. He'd finally scored a podium at Silverstone at the last round, but the frustrated Godfrey, I don't know who he was flinging his fist at, just bolted off of his own accord. Alex Olsen, ex of Harimo Star Mix, passes the man who took over from him, Joe Collier. And then this moment struck the unlucky Ashley Buxton, a young man from East Anglia, who'd been having a really good ride till that point, and he crashed out at Surtees. An amazing move by Harry Hartley, rode round the outside of Scotsman Michael Robertson at Surtees in his attempt to regain ground, and then he pulled this move on Alex Olsen, and that moved him through into 3rd place. Great move by him. Meanwhile, Callan Cooper was dominating the race at the front, and the 17-year-old from the Isle of Man took his race victory, but it was Luke Hedger, who hatched from Yate in Bristol on the Gearlink Kawasaki, who took the Superstock 600 championship title. The Triumph Triple Challenge last outing here of the season at Brands Hatch, with Canterbury's Tom Ward on pole position, Kings Lynn's Freddie Pett in 2nd place, and Lower Compton's Sam Pitchers running off the outside of the front row of the grid for SP Racing. And it's number 121, Tom Ward, who makes the brightest of starts with the bright orange helmet, leads the way into Druids. And then a dramatic moment there for the number 33 machine. And that's Mark Burdett hanging on to the green group triumph as long as he possibly can. Dan Hellier moves ahead of Scott Pitchers at the top of Mike Haywood Hill, and then side by side with Tom Ward, he grabs the lead as they go into Westfield. Scott Pitchers, though, is hovering dangerously, realising he can perhaps go a bit quicker. He's tailing the two leaders as they battle it out. Ward moves once again through to the front with a great move through Dingle Down. Tom Ward then back at the front, but Scott Pitchers squeezes past inside Hellier as they move through into Stirling's Bend. And Chris Northover is making a big late move in the race, sets a scorching new fastest lap and moves through into third place. But at the front, Scott Pitchers is the man in control as he comes surging out of the final corner and takes victory for the first time at the last race of the series. A great result then from the young man from Lower Compton on the SP Racing Triumph.
Well, it was nothing if not eventful, this final race of the 2013 season. The winner, pretty much a foregone conclusion because Tim Reeves has been unbeatable all season. What happened next was absolutely amazing. The conditions were unpredictable, to say the least. There was a dry line in places, but there appeared to be a wet or slippery something on the Exeter Clearways, which claimed no fewer than 4 outfits. Tony Brown catapulted into the gravel. Ashley Hall's being thrown away, the passenger up. John Clark went in as well. Series organiser Roger Body followed in a bit later, more sedately, but all under control. So something happened there. Matt McLaurin and AD Hope, well, they went in backwards in the gravel. So after a brilliant first race, their debut in the Eastern Airways Championship ended in ignominy, shall I say. Safety car out then allowed everyone to close up. Tim Reeves and Andy Peach at the restart really got stuck into each other. Andy Peach with an intermediate rear tyre seemed to get the drive where Tim Reeves maybe was slip-sliding around a bit. I do not know the choice of tyre Reeves had, but running wide under brakes, you heard it in the interview, he slid a little bit wide, shoved Andy almost out, but it was a genuine racing incident. And then Tim Reeves went on to lift his 16th victory. Unbelievable. Fantastic result. Andy Peach confirmed second place in the series. Ben Holland finished third in the gravel, and there you go. Tim Reeves then with Tristan, worthy champion.